cellular should keep me informed, so I should be good.
Check. Check 1 2. Check 1 2 1 2. What's up? We up in this piece. I got Mr. Norris, K-Bum 20. What it do, people?
What up, man?
Yeah, we back, man. All this rapping make me want to feel like I want to rap, man. Kendrick got a brother want to feel like he want to rap. But what's good? Don't egg me on, man. I got that itch. Don't egg me on. But yeah, man, we are back. Huh?
Was you taking sides?
I'm Team Kendrick, man. I think Kendrick took that, bro. Yeah. I think Drake sincerely underestimated his opponent. And he was a little too arrogant, and it was dependent on social media and opinions of fans and popular opinion. He didn't do his job. So, I mean, this thing went left though. I'm not gonna front. There's a lot in this that was like, whoa, I don't know if I wanted to know all that.
Right.
But welcome to the show. We are back. We got a lot to talk about. Well, two main topics to talk about. We got to talk about Microsoft. Man, the L box is doing what it always do, and that's producing those L's. It's producing L's. If it does one thing, it produces L's. I don't know what's going on, but we got to talk about these studios closing over there at Microsoft and their Xbox department. So we gotta talk about that. Also, Nintendo had their investors meeting, and as we thought, we found out that they are indeed about to roll out at some time between now and March of next year. Sometime in that time frame, we will be introduced to the next Switch. I don't know how y'all feeling about that. How y'all feeling about that?
I'm cool with it. I'm glad we finally got some type of concrete information from Nintendo.
Yeah, man. What you think, K-Bum?
Yeah, man. It's good news, man. Be good when they actually get the chance to hear some actual information from Nintendo when it comes to specs, when it comes to games, or it comes to features and things like that. But it's on the horizon, so that's a good thing for gamers.
Okay. Yeah. It's we in that window. It's about to happen. I'm excited. So we're gonna talk about some of the new specs that have leaked, and I mean, I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I'm a specs guy, like I know what I'm talking about when I see this stuff. But we do have an individual on board that may know a little bit about this, and Mr. Norris and K-Bum may know a little bit as well. So we'll talk about what we seeing with the DLSS and 12 gigabytes of RAM and all the stuff that they talking, man. We'll talk that if we get to it, because this Phil Spencer and this Xbox situation may be the main thing we talk about for a minute. So if you in the chat, let me know who you is. Oh yeah, shouts out to, I gotta give this guy a shout out, man. He put a smile on my face before we jumped on here. Let me find him real quick. Yeah. I don't know if you seen what I shared, Keith, but what's his name? Let me see. So, Amin Parker 01, want to send a shout out to you, man. Amin Parker 01, he said, this was an excellent video. Keep up the good work, Leveled Head. You are one of my favorite content creators. I appreciate that right there. I appreciate that. And I take it that he thinks all of us are great, so not just me. So shout out to the Live and Level Gamers podcast.
I thought you had the clap.
Okay. All right. But thank you, bro. Thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. So welcome,
I read
welcome,
it.
welcome.
I read the claps to Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? Read the
Send the
claps.
shots to Kendrick.
No, I said
Nah,
I read the claps to Kendrick.
Leave the claps to Kendrick.
leave the clap to Grizzly's BBL.
Yeah, man. So
Yeah.
now he took over the weekend. I'm like, bro, I got things to do. You can't keep me up this late. I got church in the morning. I was glued. Like, bro, what is? As a hip hop fan and a person that do Christian hip hop, I keep my ear to the hip hop streets. I know kind of what's going on out there. And man, Kendrick took over the weekend. Him and Drake, you know what I'm saying, took over the weekend. But Kendrick took over the weekend, man. And I was like, God, like, bro, you dropped early that morning. You dropped again that night. That swallowed up Mr. Drake's release, and then came again with You Not Like Us. They Not Like. I'm like, God, like, we just experienced history. Do y'all realize that? Go ahead, Keith.
No, I was gonna say that song is bananas, man. Not only he dissed you, he gave some history. He compared you to some history and said you doing the same thing settlers used to do. Like he was teaching in the song, made a bop. Like my God, and it's a West Coast song that he don't even make, and he from the West Coast. He don't even make songs like that.
Right.
Like that song was.
Shouts out to D2K. Welcome to the show, bro. He said X-Men. Anyway, X-Men 97 is the best TV show on TV. Yeah, man, I'm trying to catch up, D2K. I'm trying to catch up, bro. I caught the third episode with Gene, and I'm going into the fourth. I kind of been slacking. I plan on binging out at some point here. I plan on binging out and getting through these episodes. But what I've seen so far has been really good. That is for sure. But welcome, bro. Welcome to the show, man. But yeah, bro, yeah. Kendrick and Drake, man, took over the internets. It's just, Kendrick went diabolical. Like, that brother went scorched earth. Like, bro, what is this? When I heard Meet the Grams, I was like, bro, should my ears be privy to this information? Like, where are we going? It was so dark and sinister, and I was like, oh man, bro.
Did y'all hear that? I think it was the UMG Universal Music Group. They set all parties down and had them have a conversation and told them to stop the beef. And what it is this beef is so devastating that it's going to eventually, if not, cost them money. So they're trying to get Kendrick to stop. Like, hey man, chill. You're gonna cost us a lot of money. That's crazy.
Shouts out to you, Miss Mia. Welcome to the show. Are here. Let's go. Okay, so I heard about that, Keith, and I heard that was supposed to be debunked, but I believe it actually was possibly had truth in it. Maybe not to the level that they said, but they said they didn't do that. But you're absolutely right. This gonna cost this brother money. Like, this is really gonna tarnish this boy image with the whole Drizzy BBL Drizzy with Metro Boomin, and Kendrick got the bop going on with They Not Like Us. They calling the brother the P word, and my God, like, he just a meme and Drake gonna have a hard year if he don't come back with some hits that can cause people like Kanye to forget. Drake gonna have a hard year.
I don't agree with that. I think all Drake got to come out is another bopper, and everybody gonna forget about all
that's
this.
What I said. He gonna have to come out with a bop.
He don't got to come out with nothing hard and be the best Drake ever.
No,
he come out with some song, and people gonna forget about it. And people gonna Booker T called out his lost son. and brought all that to the light.
That wasn't
I know
like
Kendrick
this,
did more.
K-Ball.
I know Kendrick did more damage here. But I'm sorry. He got demolished that Pusha T that he
Yeah,
didn't
he
even give
got
no more.
demolished, but it
And
didn't
then
reach.
everyone just forgot about it. They just
Wait a
welcomed his
minute,
new son into his life.
wait a minute. Let's back up. Hold
Forgot
up.
about everything.
Shouts out to Chariot, man. This is a gamers podcast, not a hip hop podcast. But anyway, welcome to the show. All right, man. So let me address why I'm saying this is bigger than the Pusha T
People forget beefs quick.
reveal of the babies that Drake was trying to keep. See, the thing is, it's the angle of Kendrick's diss that's way more impactful, because you might have had a child that you was not trying to own, and that was a big thing. And Pusha wasn't a big enough of a star to really get outside of hip hop for real. Drake, on the other hand, with Kendrick, dude, this is international now. I heard a Japanese dude rapping over BBL Drizzy. That whole TED situation is bringing in investors like Nike and everybody that's a link to him. If this thing keep trending, they might be like, "Hey, bro, you too hot right now. We might need to," because they finding every time Drake has dealt with what the allegation is, they posting it. Man, this, bro, when I say this one is different, it's different. Like, this is different.
This society is way too flaky. They forget super quick and move on to the next. They move on to the next thing so quick. I get everything.
I hope you're right.
I agree with everything.
I hope you're right, K-Ball. I really do.
They move on so quick though.
Yeah, I hope you're right, because I know y'all here to hear the games, but we got it. This has been, look, y'all, this is a thing.
It's big. It's
big. I hope you're right. I'm not a fan of Drake, so I'm biased a little bit towards Kendrick. But even in my bias, Kendrick whooped Drake. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts. He beat that boy silly. Now, I did not want to see Drake go through this though. I just wanted Drake to be humbled, because Drake was just moving kind of foul. This is something else. I was like, boy, like, dude, I ain't want you to put the brother. I just want you to out-ramp him and show him that, dude, you can't. No, Kendrick did some, man, this was some doggone, like he was in a couch and Kendrick was his counselor, his psych evaluator or something. I'm like, bruh, this was history, y'all. Just gotta admit that is history. But anyway, welcome to the show. That was just breaking the ice as people was jumping in. We got up to 8. Y'all come on back. Okay, we're not gonna talk about Drake. We're gonna get on this L box. It's like they're talking about Drake and Kendrick. We here to tell you about Phil Spencer and the L's. And it's not just Drake taking L's this week. It's Phil Spencer taking all this. Like, Drake, you can't have this L. Let me have my L's back. So we got to talk about this. So we're going to jump into it. Do you want to do what you've been gaming on? Because I'm going to tell you right now, I didn't get much in this week. Does anybody want to do no, Nia want to do it. So let's get on what you've been gaming on now.
Yeah. You know what time it is. It's time for What Have You Been Gaming On? Sing it, folks. Let's go. Hey. What you been gaming on? 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 Gaming on, gaming on, gaming on.
But we got Smash Bros though.
And Nia, I agree. I think the 4 that jumped out were Drake fans. So who was because he was up to 8. We was climbing after we started talking about Drake. It like 2 or 3 jumped out. I was like, see, we can't even talk about them. They still sensitive. They took that L. Y'all not in Canada, are y'all? Anyway, let me stop.
They you know what they bumping?
They not like us.
They not like us. They not like
He's a 69 God. Hey, Robert. Boy, that boy created. Oh my God. Anyway, who going first? Who going?
I go first because it's same usual games that I'm playing. So another thing about Drake. No, I'm sorry. No, same old. Played a little bit of Xenoblade, not much. And
You did that for Nia. I already know what you on, Keith. You did that for the Miss Nia. You ain't had to play that game, man. Don't force that in there.
I'm not forcing it. It's a good game. It's a good game. I'm actually been considering the DLC, but hey, that was a secret. That was a secret.
Nia, stop trying to get people to play Xenoblade. I see that people.
I'm sorry. It's living rent free in my mind. Then of course I've been playing Tales, and the last one, what's that game? Near Automata. That. I mean, I've been playing the same old games, but I haven't really been playing much. I'm probably gonna play a lot more this weekend coming up. So same old. The usual suspects.
Okay, all right. Leveled is so mean. I am not mean. And thank you, Nia, for sharing the information. She was trying to make sure I was up on things with the Nintendo announcement. She sent it to me. I was like, I'm on it, Nia. I'm on it. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. No, I'm not being mean. I'm just, just messing with Keith, man. He up here trying to play. Don't be forcing my guy to play this game. He don't want to play this game. Like,
hey,
man,
it on forced.
I'm joking. I kid. Come on, K-Bomb. What you been gaming on, bro? The whole field, everything from what you shoot. You play every game out there.
I've been down bad the past 2 days, man.
Oh,
I was sick, so I'm still trying to recover. You can probably hear it in my voice a little bit, but trying to recover, man. So I really hadn't played anything really in the past 2 days because I've been trying to rest and take off work from it. But before that, I did get a chance to play. I played some of the usuals, which is MLB The Show, 2K, Overwatch, Hades. And I got a chance to play another game and throw that into the loop as I was trying to itching to get another single player game into it, and that's Tales of Kizara. I did get a chance to play this game. I know you guys have had your chance to play as well. One thing I didn't know it was that EA had the publishing rights to this game. That this was considered an EA original. I did not know that until I started the game up. But yeah, I got a chance to dive into it. I do have to say this: the voice acting is top notch, and I absolutely love hearing the voices in this game. I do have to say that it does feel indie to me.
Yeah, I agree.
It feels very indie to me. After playing and okay, I'm not the king of side-scrolling games. Prince of Persia was one of the first side-scrolling games I've completed. So don't take this as if I'm the king of side-scrolling. But it does feel indie, and it does feel more simplistic than um uh, uh, uh the Prince of Persia game. It does. Prince of Persia was very complex on everything you can do, the moves and your the way you traverse and everything like that. This is more simplistic. I think it's by design, right? But it is a little simplistic, and it does make it feel a little indie. I don't think the graphics is great. I think the art direction is great. I think the graphics is so. I think the art direction is amazing. If that makes sense, if you can tell the difference between the two.
Let me ask you this, since you brought that up, just real quick. When it's in motion, how do you feel about it when the game is in motion?
When the uh, when the game's in motion, it feels fine. It feels good. I have
Right.
no problem with the
Visually.
game in motion. Visually, it looks good. I have no problem. The problems I have with the game is when they do close-ups. When they went all the way close up on the character, and it looked very cartoony and and the animation was very stiff. I'm like, I'm not liking that. Then they zoomed out, and you actually get into some of the gameplay, and it feels better. But like I said, it's the graphic I don't like, but I love the art direction. That makes up for the level of graphics they have to the game. But like I said, I think the voice acting is amazing. I think it has a very good story to tell. I like the direction that it's going, and I'm interested in it. It makes me want to play more. So, kudos to the team over there, and I'm gonna continue to play it.
So
So
is that
that's just
Tails? You
my
said
quick.
that's Tails, right?
Yeah, Tails and Kinsara. Yep.
Okay. I'll just make sure I was doing something and I tuned out for a second. Okay. Anything else, Mr. Bum?
No, no, that's the video game asked me, have I gotten both masks? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've gotten both masks, and I go back and forth. I think they do a pretty good job of trying to force you to go back and forth between the masks. Um, of reason to use the moon and the sun, and it's part of the gameplay loop. And so I think it's pretty good. You can't really just try to master one because they put obstacles in your way and enemies in
Yeah.
your way that you kind of have to switch over to the other mask in order to defeat the enemy in a timely fashion. So
Right.
yeah, I have both, and I do try to master both sides because that's the only way you can kind of get through it in a timely fashion.
Wrap it up, man. It's my turn. Anyway, so I haven't gamed on anything this week, so we can finish this. All right, so let's
And
go.
you gonna wrap me up just for you say you don't got nothing.
You know what I thought that was? I thought that was rock. Not mess him up.
No, man, I want to have good time to talk about this mess. No, I played Mario Wonders, but not much, so I ain't feel like it was worth talking about. I had to do it to you, K. I had to get you, bro. So, K-Bum like, dude, you gonna stop? You gonna stop with me?
No, it's just no. You taking advantage. I'm not feeling that well, and I'm kind of slow right now, and you taking advantage of it. But it's all good.
I apologize. Let me
It's
go
all
here.
good.
Let me give myself a slap.
Slap yourself.
My guy's sick. He can't defend himself.
Stupid.
Hey, just stay away from Drake. That's all you need to do. Stay away from Drake right now, because Kendrick is not. He's not
Everybody
taking
finna get
nobody.
distracted.
Everybody get hit with Drake. So you just stay away from him. You'll be good. So anyway, a lot has happened in the world. Drake beat up Kendrick, just putting foots to him, and I guess Phil felt like he needed to shield Drake and took some of the tension away, because there's a lot going on over here at Xbox. As you can see, I moved the Xbox because I think they need to change their name to the L
Lord help.
box. Let me get a shout out to that. They need to change their name to the L box, because that seems like the only thing they seem to be doing over the last few years is just taking L's for L's sake. I mean, Keith, how many times have we come on here to not praise Xbox, but to say something and
We
scratch
we had
our
to have a
head?
whole session
I mean,
just to make them to say all the good things about.
this look, folks, this is not us. This is not our doing. This is not the Live and Level Gamers podcast fault. Do not take ire and don't get frustrated with us about what we're about to talk about. Don't point at us and say it's y'all. No, we got some questions to ask. The first question is it time to question leadership? We're going to get to that. And we got to deal with what's going on. So it was announced, and I'm going to pull this in from Pure Xbox. I ain't want to go anywhere else. I went to Pure Xbox. And it says Xbox is shutting 4 studios, including Arkin Austin and Tango
Okay.
Arcane Austin, and Tango Game Works. And I think Tango made Hi-Fi Rush. Am I correct?
I believe you're correct, sir.
Okay, so let's continue. Creators of Redfall, Hi-Fi Rush, and much more. So it says in some earth-shattering news today, which was a few days ago, it has been announced that Xbox is shutting 4 studios in the form of Arcade, Austin.
Thank you.
Redfall Prey, Tango Gameworks, which is Ghostwire Tokyo, and Hi-Fi. They made Ghostwire Tokyo?
Yep.
Dang. Hi-Fi Rush, and then Alpha Dog Games, Mighty Doom. I don't know what Mighty Doom is, and the little-known Roundhouse Studios. The latter of these 4 will seemingly remain intact, but will be joining the Elder Scrolls Online team at ZeniMax Online Studios. The news was first leaked via an internal email from Xbox Matt Booty. Thanks, Matt. IGN, in which he stated that the team felt a need to look across the business to identify the opportunities that are best positioned for success. Okay. Let me see if there's any more. And it says, according to Matt's email, both Alpha Dog Games and Tango Gameworks will be closing, and there's no sign of any major staff transfers to other studios. The closure of Alpha Dog also means that Mighty Boom will be shut down. Some of the Arcane Austin staff will be moving over to other Bethesda teams, but the studio's demise means that Redfall's planned DLC won't be going ahead. There will be make good offers for purchasers of Hero DLC instead. Here's a bit more of what Booty had to say in his eternal statement earlier today. These changes are not a reflection of the creativity and skills of the talented individuals at these teams or the risk that they took to try new things. It isn't? You sure? Because you're not there no more. Anyway, I acknowledge that these changes are also descriptive to the various support teams across ZeniMax and Bethesda that brings our games to market. We are making these tough decisions to create capacity to increase investment in other parts of our portfolio and focus on our priority games. In other words, folks, Microsoft spent a lot of money and we don't have time for your ideas. We got to go with the for sures. So if your game is not a hit, I don't care how much you want to try this new idea, we're not trying it. Just make the stuff that's already selling. The stuff that already has proven itself. Make more of them games, 2, 3, and 4, and 5 and 6. So there's not going to be any opportunities for creative ideas to be birthed. Ain't that what Phil said he was trying to do? He didn't want to take away his development studios. And he wanted to give them the opportunity to work on those ideas and creations that they have so they can expand and dive deeper into that. Nope. All that changed with the acquisition of Activision. So I'm open the floor for my guys. I know K-Bum is ready to go. I know Keith is ready to go. And Keith, since you was just feeding us so much info, I feel it's only right to let you go first. What it says, level is not a real adult. Why am I not a real adult? What happened to me? What'd I do? Okay, so then you got to explain that. Why am I not a real adult? What did I say? So go ahead. He did say Matt Booty. It just was, you could have said Matt. You didn't have to say Booty said. That sounded funny. Sounded funny to me. Anyway, go ahead, Keith. It's your floor.
I mean, there was a lot of emphasis on booty, but hey, we not gonna get.
I couldn't help it. Go ahead.
Man, so like you said, it's been a lot of crazy stuff happening in a lot of things, but man, it seems like every week or every other week, Microsoft is in the news, and it's 9 times out of 10 it's a negative. It's something negative.
Wait a minute. Pause. Wait a minute. First of all, shouts out to Alan Steve. But welcome to the show. But we finna stop. Alan Steve.
We don't have to stop.
Alan Steve, stop it.
We
Stop
don't
it, Alan
have
Steve.
to stop for this.
Kendrick did not beat Drake. Alan Steve, did you see the nose flying out of the blood flying out of that boy's nose? Stop it, Alan Steve. Are you from Canada, Alan Steve? Or is this biasness talking here? Anyway, Keith, the floor is yours. I just had to address Alan Steve. Welcome to the show. But shut up yourself. All right. Had to get that out. Go ahead, Keith. It's your floor. Don't be doing that, Alan Steve.
I wasn't even going to address it. I was going to let him live in his delusion. Okay. So there's a lot of crazy stuff that's been happening this week, as I was saying, and Microsoft. We like I was saying earlier, we can make our own negative Microsoft segment and have new information to talk about every week if we truly wanted to. And this didn't help at all with these closures of these studios. So first of all, I do want to say, my heart goes out to those studios. I'm gonna be like the big YouTubers and Paris and all of them, how they be talking about. So my heart goes out to them for the people. But seriously, it's a lot of people that lost their jobs and people are. Hey, good night, love you. All right. A lot of people lost their jobs and they're scrambling now to figure out what they're going to do because of this situation. Hold on one second. Sorry, they came in and kind of distracted me. They're trying to figure out what they're going to do after this, but Microsoft, it seemed like no matter what you do, if you make a good game, if you make a bad game, because Hi-Fi Rush was considered one of the swan song games, was it 2023?
Yep.
And it didn't matter. Sent it to PlayStation, and I want to say it had moderate success on PlayStation.
It did pretty good.
It did pretty good. And
what game was that again?
Hi-Fi Rush.
Oh, okay. I'm bringing in Tango now. I'm bringing in what you sent with Tango now. Go ahead.
And it wasn't enough. And the studio still ended up being closed after all of this money being spent. And what it's saying is Game Pass is doing the things that we said that it couldn't do. It wasn't sustainable for a game of that caliber, such a good game. And they said that they didn't see the numbers for it. Well, that's because you gave it to people for free. Hi-Fi Rush, I think, was one of those games that people would have ran out and purchased had you had to go out and purchase it. But because you gave it to us free day one on Game Pass, you're not going to see that return. And that goes for many games that they've been putting out day one on Game Pass. And I think they shot themselves in the foot when they decided to do day one on Game Pass. And this is a reflection of it. And their gaming model isn't sustainable. It isn't something that people should follow. You know how Nintendo comes up with something and then people start following it like, oh, we're going to do handhelds. And now you got 1 million handhelds on the market because they proven a platform. And Microsoft was trying to prove a platform, but I think they didn't think it all the way through. Gaming today in 2024 is a lot more expensive. I mean, you just go look at the games that Rockstar is doing with Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption. Those games are expensive. Sony, we had a podcast where we talked about how much Sony is spending on their productions. And you think Microsoft, even though they have so much money, you think they're going to be, able to sustain it? No. Things are too expensive and people's livelihoods are on the line. And it's just a bad situation over there, Microsoft. And I think they really need to start thinking about the leadership. I mean, it's been 10 plus years, a decade of this disaster of a company right now. Like the Xbox division, not Microsoft as a whole, but this Xbox division has been like bleeding since 2013 when they announced the Xbox One, and it seems like they haven't recovered since. They've been trying different things and trying to find their mark, and I think there needs to be new leadership. Something needs to be reworked because it's not working. And now people are not now. People have always been affected, but seriously, people are being affected by this. And I thought the cultures that stopped for a minute, especially with such a company like Microsoft, but no, it's I'm gonna yield here, but it's pretty bad over there right now.
Okay, K-Bomb, the floor is yours, bro. What? First of all, just say how you feel about the news and what everything before we really dive into some of the questions we need to ask. Just give your overall thoughts of what you heard about from Phil and Xbox.
Man, it's difficult uh, as a developer having so many directions uh, from leadership, right? And that some of these companies were working under a certain way, and then they get absorbed into another company, and then things change, and then Xbox changed directions again. And then you go with the direction that that you've gotten from your upper management. You go out and produce the game that you wanted to produce, that they gave you the green light to do, and you produce the best first party game in the long line of crap first party games for Xboxes, and the company still your studio is still gone. It's a very difficult thing to deal with. And I'll say it, my heart goes out to those developers, those engineers, those testers, those project managers, those technical managers, and everything under the sun that has to deal with it, because it's difficult, and it's some of the crappy things you have to deal with while working within a big company that can just absorb up losses and keep moving. And that's what and that's why Nintendo doesn't run like a big company in that aspect. They run more of a family like company, and they try to keep and not have losses in that matter. But Sony and Xbox, Microsoft, both flow in that same big company setup, where you take your losses, you cut the fat, you know what I'm saying? You refocus and you keep moving, right? And you just clean up the bloodshed behind, right? And so it's just, I mean, it's one of the things. It's just like I said, it's one of the things you have when you work for a big company like that, and it sucks. But there's a lot we want to talk that we need to talk about as far as Microsoft,
Yeah.
because the thing is, we don't, because we're going to speculate here. And I'm gonna be just completely upfront and honest. We're gonna speculate here because there's speculations that Tango was that one of the guys left Tango and was already recruiting a lot of people from the company to create his own studio, and so Tango could have closed because they were already getting picked off by this guy to create his studio, and what was left wasn't good enough to run the studio they may have seen. Or some people saw the writing on the wall
Yeah,
and then they
that's what
jumped
that
ship.
sound like. It sound
Right,
like,
right, right.
yeah.
But it's just speculation. Like we don't
Yeah,
we
no,
don't
no, no. I'm
know.
with you. I'm with you.
We don't know which one is true, but that's what I'm trying to state from the get go. That's what we're going to do. I mean, we're going to speculate
We
because we
got
don't
to.
we don't have the behind the scenes knowledge of what's exactly going on. And even if you worked at the company, you don't have that behind the scenes knowledge. I've been in several big companies where we had to do layoffs and and things. As a matter of fact, my job, we just had layoffs, two waves of it this year already. So it is difficult to be in that situation, but it just continues to put Xbox in a
Yeah.
in a bad light. And that's a
Right.
lot I want to say, but I want to make sure we stay on topic. So I'm gonna leave it at
Yeah.
that.
Well, we like you said, we gonna do a lot of speculating and trying to see and just trying to connect dots. We don't know, but we clearly know something is going on at Xbox in the Xbox division over at Microsoft. Something is going on. It seemed like they're torn between two visions. Or, let me say it this way. They know that they can't continue the vision that they have sold, but they also fear telling the truth about what their plan is. That's what I would say. They fear telling the truth. They're trying to keep the group of fans that they have, the fan base, they're trying to keep that intact while pivoting to a new strategy that is foreign to that fan base and foreign to what gamers in general are used to. So it's like they're trying to pull a like a magic trick. They're trying to switch something and you don't see it. But it's just it's clear as day that they're not focusing on home consoles and stuff like that. That's not the future for them. Now let's look at some of these studios and let's look at some of the games that we're going to be potentially losing if they don't, give these titles to other studios. I don't know how they're going to do it. This is the first. Okay, so this is Tango Games, and you get Hi-Fi Rush, Ghostwire Tokyo, which that game looked good. I never played it, but it looked good, looked cool. I ain't a first-person shooter type, but the little bit I saw, it looked cool. I don't know if any of you guys played it. Has anyone here played it?
I played it, and had it not been for Game Pass, I probably would have never played that game. And because of Game Pass, I would have never bought. I didn't buy it, and it was okay. Felt a little indie-ish, if I can say, but it wasn't all that to me.
And then you got Evil, The Evil Within, and The Evil Within 2. So basically, 2 games in the same IP. Two games. So I don't know if they made anything else, but Hi-Fi Rush was a shining point, and I want to play that game. And from what I understand, it's coming to the PlayStation 5. So I probably will pick it up over there, and I believe it's probably going to come to the Switch too. So not the Switch 2, but the Switch number 2. So between one of them two systems, I'm going to get Hi-Fi Rush because I wanted to play it. But this is unfortunate, man. Here's another, let me see. Alpha Dog. What does Alpha Dog make? Wrathborn action RPG and what else?
I believe it was mobile. I believe it was a mobile game.
Okay, that's it. That's all they make.
Yeah, I believe it was a mobile game.
So you had them. Then you got Roundhouse, and
Roundhouse. They got moved into Elder Scrolls.
Okay,
the Elder Scrolls dev team. So they're not. The studio is gone, but that team isn't gone.
That's what I read.
They got absorbed in by another development group.
Did they say why?
It saves money because you don't have to run a whole studio.
Okay, got you.
And what was the other one? Was it Arcane? And they made
Redfall.
Yeah, they made Redfall. Okay. So now are these Bethesda studios?
Redfall is Arcane is. The Arcane one is.
And Roundhouse.
I think Roundhouse is as well. I'm not sure about the indie. I know Tango's not.
Okay.
And I'm not sure about the. No, Tango maybe is ZeniMax actually.
Yeah, I think Tango. Yeah, it's ZeniMax. I saw that already. I don't even know why I didn't just pull it back up. Yeah, that's Zeno. That's right there. Right here, ZenoMax. So okay. So I'm not against. Now I am against laying people off unnecessarily. I know that's a part of the business. I think every corporation and company at some point or another that's big and major like that has had to deal with layoffs. I'm not saying it's unfortunate every time that happens, but with Microsoft and specifically with Xbox, it seems to be happening a whole lot. So we must ask the question. The question has to be asked. Is it Phil? Now let's be real. Is it Phil Spencer? Now I know Phil has been over this for pretty much a decade, right? At least 10 to 11 years. And then he took over like being the main guy. I know he's been the main guy for at least 10 to 11 years. I know he's been with them a little longer than that, but I know he's been at the top for 10 to 11 years. And it seems like under this dude's helm, they have did nothing right. Now, I would give him this. Phil made you believe as a gamer that he was for gamers. And I believe deep down he is, to a degree. But it also seems to be like what D2K is saying about Reggie Fils-Aimé. There seems to be a lot of lying, a lot of posturing, a lot of just saying what you believe gamers want to hear and doing something else. So I gotta ask the question. I'm gonna throw it to y'all, and then you can just break this down because we don't have nothing but L's to look at. We don't know why they taking so many L's. We don't know why. We don't know why. We have our theories. We're gonna theorize, but I gotta ask this first question: is it leadership? Can you take this many L's and not look at Phil Spencer? The floor is yours. Whoever want to go.
I do want to jump in first. Let me jump in first because I need to make sure we set this correct. With the purchase of, so there were a set of closures and layoffs when after the Activision Blizzard thing was final. That has nothing to do with Phil Spencer being a good CEO or not. That happens. Whenever you have a big studio, a big company, grab and pull in another one, you're going to trim the fat. That is normal practice, especially when you're bringing somebody else that big in, and they have a lot of fat to trim. Let's not forget when Activision was doing their dirt. And Activision was in the news for all the scandal. Microsoft
Say that, bro.
toyed with the idea of maybe you need new leadership.
No, don't just leave it at that, K-Bomb. Do say what Phil did though. Phil publicly berated that ball. What was his name? Kodak. What was his name? He came out publicly and spoke out against the
He did.
actions, and then was behind the scene. So he damaged them publicly, only to come behind the scenes to buy him. It was I saw something that was kind of talking about that, but go ahead. Don't leave that part out. But you own
But
it.
he
You
didn't. He didn't buy him. He bought the company. But
No,
yeah,
I'm talking about he was talking to him or talking to them to buy them out while he was
yeah. That's what they were saying. They were saying that they need new leadership under there, and Microsoft is not afraid to step in and do that because
right.
that's when Activision was out there with all the dirt and all the crap that was going on, and so I want to give one token of light here. So I have a person that I follow who's been doing Overwatch and talking about Overwatch for since the Overwatch came into existence. So 2017 Overwatch or 20, I forget when Overwatch came. Whatever Overwatch, maybe 2017, something like that. And he's been, had his YouTube channel dedicated to Overwatch. One thing that he's stated that the state of Overwatch and the state of the Overwatch team has actually gotten better since Bobby Kotick. There we
There it
go.
is, Kotick. There it is. Okay.
Since the departure of Bobby Kotick and the appointing of Microsoft as the funding company, that the Overwatch team is actually a much better team. They have delivered on what they've been saying. The game is in the best state it's ever been in. The community is back thriving. I would say thriving is improving. The game is better, and it's nothing but positives since the release of Bobby Kotick and the installation of uh, the Microsoft. They did also get hit with some of the layoffs, but what the guy talked about in the layoffs The people who were laid off were majority of people from the esports division, which the esports for Overwatch was actually going away anyway. It was defunded, and they were in their last couple of months of existence anyway. And so, yeah, they got hit with layoffs, but a lot of that was in the esports division, and you don't need an esports division if you don't have esports. And so, that part I wanted to give because we said a lot of bad things about Microsoft and what they're doing, and are they leading this ship correctly? And there is, from my understanding, at least one aspect and one development team that is thriving under this new leadership and not being under Bobby. With that being said,
K-Bum was dirty, boy. He said all that so he can cut him off at the
you
knees.
you have to give the full story when you talk about these things. I like to give the full story. I don't like to just talk negative or talk positive. We gotta get the full story. But with that being said, um, I feel, and this is bad because I want to believe in Phil Spencer. Because to me, Phil Spencer is a gamer running a gaming company. That's how I feel when I see Phil Spencer. I feel like he's a genuine guy. He's a genuine gamer. He doesn't feel like a suit to me. When he talks, he doesn't talk like a suit. He doesn't. I don't feel, like I'm looking at somebody who just was. He joined the company as an intern in 1988. Like he's not just a suit. Like he's a gamer. But you can't say the things that you say towards your brand and utter some of the things that you've uttered and put your company in the position that you've put your company in and not have your leadership questioned. You can't you can't say stuff like we can't compete with our competitors, and then you take some of your good games and you give it to your competitors. Like I, I don't know how to rationalize it. I want to believe in Phil Spencer. Uh, like this is from a position that I want to believe in him. I want to have faith in him. I want to give him more time, but it is hard for me to find ways to give him excuses to keep failing. Like it, to me, the nail in the coffin was two things. It was what he said over the summer when he was said we can put our best. It's not about having great games. We can put our best games out, and no one's going to trade in a PS5 or a Switch, right? So it doesn't even matter if we put great games out. I'm like, you're a gaming company. Your job is to make games. Uh, and then also, it's hard for me to just bypass the fact that you want to preach this third party thing, and it's as if you champion it when you buy all the top third party companies, and then you don't really do much with it. And the only thing you've really impacted that we've seen outwardly is closures. That is the biggest impact we've seen Phil Spencer and the Xbox organization, other than, that niche story I just gave you, that you have to follow a certain YouTuber to even find that information. But from the outward appearance of Microsoft and Xbox, the only thing we see them affecting the industry is closures. Either you're not writing the right stories, you're not telling the right stories, or you ain't doing the right thing.
Okay. Okay, Keith, I'm about to bring you in here. I want to read what D2K said. It says Microsoft has a market cap of $3.06 trillion. They have $8 billion cash on hand, meaning money in the bank. There really is not financial excuse or a financial excuse for any of this. That's powerful statement from D2K. Mr. Norris, the floor is yours. You got a chance to kind of hear what K-Bomb had to say a little bit. We're going to keep exploring, but what's your thoughts, bro?
On the surface, what would it hurt to change directions in leadership? I understand, like give Phil a chance. Yeah, he's brought this ship this far. Give him a chance to see if he can right the wrongs and get them sailing in the proper way that they're supposed to go. I completely understand that, but it's been a decade and it's been depressing. I'm not gonna because I'm gonna go through some of the highlights and the good things that he's done things that's happened under his leadership, but I don't think it would hurt to change directions. We see it happen all the time with
change faces.
Change faces.
Yeah.
No, I really think change directions because I don't know if this. Well, we don't know their full plan, so
right.
But
I think they change the direction. I don't think he need to be the face while they're changing. I think if you're gonna change direction, change face. He can still be there, just moved. Anyway, it's your floor. I apologize. I'm interrupting. Go ahead.
No, you good. That would be heartbreaking. Go from CEO to a lesser position.
No, I'm saying he can still remain CEO. Just maybe step out view. Stop being so visible. But go ahead. My bad. I'm still interrupting. Go ahead.
So I'm on this page and it says under his leadership, he has advocated for cross-platform play, and we know we've seen that in great numbers with the PC and Xbox, and even now we're all playing games together. PlayStation and Xbox and PC, we're all and Switch, we're all playing games together. And Phil is a huge advocate for cross-platform play. Let's see what else.
Because he got to get somebody to play on Xbox.
I knew
Sorry.
Reintroducing backwards compatibility, this thing says, and we all give Microsoft credit for how they handle backwards compatibility. It's probably some of the top tier. It's the creme de la creme of backwards compatibility.
Easily.
So that's something that was under his leadership. They got purchase of Mojang and Bethesda. Let's see, Minecraft and Game Pass. But what I've noticed in just listening to the K-Bum is they do a good job, and maybe I'm wrong, but they do a good job of maintaining studios or maintaining things that's already successful. Like Minecraft was successful before Microsoft bought them. That's why they bought them. And they've done a wonderful job of just letting that do what it do. What else? It was another game that I felt like they did a good job of just letting it do what it do. And Call of Duty could be the same way. Just kind of, hey, this thing is already top level. We just got to let it coast. But it seems like they have a problem under his leadership creating new ideas and new directions for games. And it's just the games themselves just seem like they're not hitting the same level when they're trying to be fresh and creative under his leadership. And I think that's something that needs to be considered. Or maybe like Level was just saying, he needs to, when there's new things coming, he needs to move out of the way and kind of like just, he should be like a producer and just be able to give the resources for these things, but let the people come in and be creative, kind of like what they were trying to do with Tango, but they got rid of them anyways. But I digress. But it seems like that should be what they should like focus on, maintain the good things and then allow people to be creative. But it just seems so depressing over there. And like, if you just look at it's polarizing. If you go to Twitter, you got some major Xbots are like, no, Phil should stay. And then some people say he needs to go, kick him to the curb. It's really polarizing. And it's just a house divided over there at Xbox. And it's really sad to see because they do have some good things over there. Like I mentioned, the backwards compatibility, when they brought in the hard drive, like they changed the landscape of how we play games over there. But it just seems like now they're falling and tripping over their own shoelaces. And they just can't recover, and they haven't recovered. And maybe Phil Spencer isn't the guy that's able to get them up. He's looking at everybody else and seeing what they're doing, and he's trying to compete and losing focus. And
right.
I don't know. It just seems real bad over there right now, in my opinion.
Now
under his leadership,
I'm gonna say both of y'all made Very excellent points. But what I noticed between what y'all saying is, and I'm kind of taking what you said, Keith. You said they're good at maintaining success that they didn't create.
Yeah.
So you didn't jack up Minecraft. Should we praise Phil for not messing it up? But when we look at all the stuff that has been under Phil's control, he has kind of drained the life out of it. Halo, Forza. We haven't seen a Fable in how long? We haven't seen a Gears, like all the stuff that was once successful is either just accepted, like Forza. Forza is just an accepted game. It's nothing special, but it's not bad either. But they milked the crap out of that game. They just mishandled Halo. Just really just took all the momentum and life out of that title, out of that IP, out of that character. This is all on the field. And it goes back to what Nia said. Now, Nia brought up Iwata. I feel like, I don't think it was Iwata that was the problem with Nintendo, more so than Miyamoto. And maybe it was a combination of both of them. Now, unfortunately, Iwata passed away, but I believe that the Switch was going to be, well, I don't know. He did give us the Wii, and it was extremely successful. Phil, do we credit the 360 for Phil with Phil? I don't think we do.
No.
Okay, so Phil doesn't have a Wii under his leadership. And now, don't get me wrong, Iwata also had the Wii U. But he also had the idea for the Switch. He didn't get to see it to fruition, and maybe it wasn't for him to be in the driver's seat for the Switch because he may have made decisions that may have undermined it. So I can see where, but it was in his mind though. It was in the ideas of Iwata. Who I always wanted to move with Nintendo was Miyamoto. Because Miyamoto kind of, to me, and what I saw, and I could be wrong, y'all correct me in the comment section, but he and his ideas was somewhat smother out creativity. Zelda would not be what Zelda is today with Miyamoto. Look what he did with Star Wars. Like, after a while, his ideas became a little just archaic and kind of dated, and he didn't want open world. He didn't want to evolve and embrace the newness that had come into gaming. He was trying to stick to what he thought gaming was about. His philosophy around gaming was starting to become detrimental to Nintendo's success. That's why Zelda is where it is, because even though I think Miyamoto created Zelda, right? If I'm not mistaken, it was his character, right?
Yeah, he created him, but I don't want to give him too much credit because for how Zelda was navigated. Because I think, who is it? What is his name?
That's what I'm saying. It's Aonuma who's brought it to the success it is today, not Miyamoto, even though he created the character.
But Aonuma's been making Zelda for a very long time. Miyamoto hasn't been making Zelda for a very long time.
That's what I'm trying to say. And every time Miyamoto would come in, he would change things that Aonuma was like, bro, get out of here. You know what I'm saying? I remember that interview. He's like, man, he had changed something. I had to wait till he leave because he's the boss, but I'll change it back. He just didn't know. Like, so to me, I'm not trying to disparage Phil. But it does feel like Phil really does, is as being a gamer, sometimes you don't make a good coach. You don't make a good owner because you are a gamer. And you would think being a gamer would make you be able to run. But clearly he has not been able to. If it's not chasing, trying to recreate what the success of another company, trying to recreate the success of Sony and trying to make a game like that and trying to make a game like Nintendo, you haven't made your own games. You buying all these studios. We just now about to get Hellblade. That we saw, what, 3 years ago? 4
No.
years ago?
It's been longer than that.
5 years ago? So, I don't know. I want to commend them for Game Pass. That is a very gamer-minded idea. But how you managed it, it may have seemed good to the gamers, but it undermined you in your bottom line. Like, that's the next question. First, is it time for Phil to go or step back? And was Game Pass a good move or a bad move? Like, I like Phil. I genuinely like Phil. I like hearing Phil. I think Phil does have a sincereness towards gamers. I still think he's a businessman, and he's going to do what matters for business. I read an article that was talking about he would say things to the public, but do something different behind the scenes. He's not all what he cracked up to be, but that's a businessman. But I think they need a new face. They need a new coach. They need someone else. And then they need to let that be how they usher in what's obviously happening is a new direction. But I throw the floor back to y'all, and then we can start on the next conversation. Is Game Pass, does it even matter? Is it time for that to go? Like, we got a lot to go. Go ahead. Who want to go?
You want to talk about Game Pass now?
No, I mean, just your thoughts on what I said about Phil. Like, am I tripping or, you know?
No, I think if I was to make a decision, or if I was in that position, yeah, I would have leaned with you, of course, in that he needs to, there needs to be a new face.
Okay.
There has to be a new face. It needs to breathe. It needs an injection of new energy over there at Microsoft. Like I said, it just feels so depressing. I mean, you get on Twitter and you see the gamers just going tooth and nail, fighting for it, defending it, and it's like they don't know whether or not this game is going to be good. And here come the jokes, and we coming with the jokes. Everybody coming with the jokes, and then the game turns out to be Redfall. You know what I'm saying? Right. And that don't help. So right. Yeah, I think there needs to be a new face, a new interjection of energy. I mean, I like the shuffle of what they did with Mad Booty, Sarah Bond, but I don't think that was enough. And I think there's too much politics going on over there at Microsoft as opposed to actual gaming. And I know, just listening to everybody and how they're speaking, I know Phil's probably not even that comfortable with that. He wants to get back to gaming. And I know we can talk about Game Pass, but you know, that is something that a gamer would do and something that a gamer would think of. But a business person, you know, if he was really business minded, he probably wouldn't have made some of the moves that he's made. Or maybe he needs a mentor. I know he's a CEO, but maybe he needs to speak with some people. And I could be speaking ignorant here, but maybe he needs to speak with some real business focused people and figure out how to actually make this thing work.
I think the problem is, and it goes back to what Paris said, and it's a scripture that I'm thinking of. It said a double-minded person gains nothing. If you watch Phil over the years, Phil has been double-minded. He has a thing he wants to do. His fan base cries and whines. He pivots. That's why I'm saying I'm trying to give him credit. He does listen to his fans. He does listen to the followers, the Xbox elite, loyals. But at the same time, sometimes you can't listen to your fan base. Sometimes you got to do what makes business sense, even if that make fan base upset. And sometimes I think he's torn between trying to be authentic towards his fan base and trying to do what needs to be done. And it's like you always reacting. You never able to just proactively do something. You constantly in this defensive reactionary posture.
Drake.
So like Nia and D2K is saying, Game Pass it's a good idea, it is. Because that's a gamer's mind. But like y'all also saying, Neil, you said the day and date stuff is unwise. And like you said, D2K is being poorly managed right now. Why? Because you are torn between constantly trying to appease and please your fans and running a multi-billion-dollar company that may not please your fans. You can't, you gotta, that's what I see. I see a person that's constantly torn between ideas, got some good ideas, his fan base cry, he pivot on that idea, then we come back, he like the video we watching now was an absolutely reactionary video trying to calm the fan base down because y'all got some ideas that's going to help the bottom line. But now you gotta walk some of the ideas back because it leaked out. Most likely that's what happened. It got out to the public too early, and now you trying to put out the fire. But clearly this is what you're doing because now y'all laying off and closing studios. Just a month, what, 3-4 months later? We was just here talking about them going third party. So I feel sorry for Phil in one sense. I feel like it's like the Lakers. He has a lot of touchy feely people that don't allow him to be at his best. And I know it's hard, so I don't want to, but I think it's time even for him. Hey man, let's let another person come up and be the face of this thing. And you take a back seat. You've been here for a while. I think he just, I guess he wants to redeem his name and his leadership. But go ahead, K-Bum, it's your floor. Or Keith, whoever.
No, I just want to say, are you talking about the scripture that says he's unstable in all his ways? A
double-minded person is unstable in all his ways. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just wanted to make sure that's what I was thinking.
K-Bum, it's your floor.
I don't know. I don't think you're off on it. On your beliefs with Phil Spencer. I think the problem occurred. The problem has been occurring is that each of his major chess moves are not working out in the way that they're supposed to. There wouldn't be a need for all of this reacting if these major moves were working uh, in the way it's supposed. If Game Pass was growing, there would be little of nothing to say really. If Game Pass was given the value that it was supposed to, there'd be little to nothing to really say. People would have fun and stuff to do. There were content flowing from the acquisitions of those studios that they had been acquiring even before the Xbox Series X. Don't forget that they were acquiring studios when the PS4 was still out. Before the new system came out, they were already acquiring studios to prepare for the next gen system, and we still haven't seen those games. They just had a Xbox last year, and they showed all those games, and we were like, "Wow, look at all these first party games." None of them. Only ones came out so far as Redfall and Starfield and Hi-Fi Rush, and there were still like 10 more games like Fable and others that were showed during that time that still hasn't seen the light of day. Hellblade clearly being the most obvious one. Even the acquisition of Activision didn't plan out the way it was supposed to. It was drawn out for an extra 6 to 8 months. And so that put a lot of things on what they wanted to do on hold because they couldn't actually give direction yet because they didn't own the company. So you have that, which is the excuses I'm giving them, right? But then you have things that is not excuses, where it's like, how can you now be thinking about not putting Call of Duty on Game Pass? Like, your whole point is day and date. That's the whole point of Game Pass.
That's what's killing
First
them.
Xbox first party studios.
That's what
It's
killed
day and date.
Hi-Fi. That's what killed Hi-Fi Rush was day and
And,
date.
and I still think a game like Hi-Fi Rush is good for Game Pass.
But
Uh,
look what happened, K-Bone. They literally
I,
just
I
closed the
understand,
studio.
but that is a Game Pass game.
I know what you're saying.
It's not a triple A. I've been waiting for this game for 5 years, or it's not the most highly anticipated game of the year. That was a good game that dropped suddenly. That's a great game for Game Pass.
I got you. I got you. I got you.
But Call of Duty is, for some years, the number one and two selling game of the year. That's not a Game Pass candidate. But you've already shot yourself in the foot by saying that. And can we say, so just like we gave kudos to J. Cole on bowing out before this thing got nasty, can we give credit to Sony for bowing out on this day and date when they were being pressured to do so? When they told everyone it's going to lower quality of games? Because they said it way back then, and everyone was like, but Xbox is doing it. But Drake is gonna fight Kendrick. Why don't you do it, J. Cole? Uh,
No.
and no. You want some of this old man? Nope. And so Sony saw it. Sony saw the writing on the wall and was like, "Nah, you gonna pay for Kratos. And if you wanna not pay for Kratos, you better wait 8 months. You
I
can
agree.
wait. If you can wait 8 months, you can not pay for Kratos or
Play very
Horizon
little.
Zero Dawn or Last of Us 2 or Spider-Man 2. Yeah, we'll go wait 8 months. And then you can play it for free. Here you go. Uh, so and I think that the problem, like I said, man, is just the things that was supposed to be home runs, was supposed to be his bread and butter, was supposed to be his stamp on gaming. Um, it didn't turn out. And the things that we're giving him for being most notable for is from a loser's position. And I'm not trying to throw slander because of Xbox, but it's a loser's position. Cross-platform is a begging for that is a loser's position. Praising the fact you're a third-party developer when you're a first-party studio is a loser's position. And I don't know. I see your point level. I don't want to say that, but it may be
It's
time to see
time.
his
No,
take
it's
in his
time,
heart.
bro. It's time. Like, I'm not going front. And I use Nintendo. And it was sad seeing Iwata pass away and go. But I'm not going to lie to you. When we had that reveal of the Switch, you saw the new faces, it felt good. Even though it came out of a tragic situation, it felt good to see new faces, new blood, young producers, not the same people talking about the games, different folk, the new faces talking about the game. Even Nintendo of America changed their face. Reggie stepped away at the transition from the Wii U to the Switch. He stepped down and gave us a new face. I think Microsoft needs a new face for the new direction. Then it's going to feel fresh. But if you take the old face with all the old memories and all the failures, just look at him. He looks tired. He looks tired to me. I think he needs to step down. He's done his part. He's done what he came here to do. I think he's trying to redeem himself. And like D2K said, they got so much money. But it's like, to me, at some point, Microsoft got to say, hey, bro, maybe this is not you. We love your heart. You talk well. He well spoken. He talks it good. But you're not producing. At some point, you got to be like, where's the results? And this is a result-orientated business. We got to see results. We have spent billions trying to stop the hemorrhaging and the bleeding. And even that, we still hemorrhaging and bleeding. And studios are closing. And we trying to shrink and we trying to synchronize and get everything for the next wave. But man, I think the next wave needs a new face. And like I said, I respect Phil, but sometimes it's time for a new face. And that may be exactly what is needed. A new face, a new voice, a new playbook. Or it could be the old playbook with new eyes. But huh?
I was gonna say that reminds me of another scripture.
What was that?
You can't feel new wine in old wineskins.
Old wine, there you go. Can't put new wine in old wineskins because if you put the new wine in old wineskins, it will burst the wineskins. So it won't benefit nobody. A good verse. Hey, took your church again on the night. So my point is, I ain't trying to preach to y'all, but Phil has been here for a long time. And sometimes you get used to losing. Phil might just be used to being in third place. And when things don't work out, you so used to it, you can, okay, I use my boy. LeBron said it's just basketball. I didn't like that statement. I didn't like that. Yeah, you lost, but I want to see some passion, some heart in losing. Sometimes you can lose so much that it becomes normal. No, Phil, we want you to win. We want you to want to put your foot on the neck of Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo. We don't want to hear you say we can't compete. Yeah, you can. D2K just said y'all got $3.06 trillion behind y'all. Yeah, you can compete. If you want to. If you let a studio that gives you Hi-Fi Rush and you give them the money they need to make a better Hi-Fi Rush. That was your Japanese studio that you were trying to get a foot in over there. You unclosed that. You closed down the very thing you're trying to get a foot over there in that market, the studio you had over there, you close it. Now Hi-Fi Rush is in limbo. Will we get a part 2? Don't know. Where's Killer Instinct? Where's Perfect Dark? Where's Banjo? Where are all these killer IPs that you have? Nowhere to be seen. Nothing new, nothing old. The only thing we got to look forward to is Bethesda games and Call of Duty, which you didn't create none of that. You bought them. So hopefully you do them like Minecraft and allow them to continue to find success, which is sad because Bethesda, I don't even know what y'all thought y'all was getting with them, but hopefully y'all let Call of Duty be like Minecraft and y'all can maintain its success. Because that's about all you have done. There is no wins on the field so far. Y'all have the best online services, I'll give you that. But that was there before Phil.
They always had the best online services.
That's my point. So what has Phil done? What has he done? He's talked a good game, and he's made you feel like he's for you. That's his success. But none of that has been produced. He gave you Game Pass. It's dope, but it's undermining the company. It's bleeding. They are hemorrhaging because of that. These studios are closing because them studios that make the money they probably should have made, and they fumbled a lot of what was it? Redfall fumbled. Hi-Fi Rush, you gave it to your audience for nothing. So that studio didn't make any money. And now they was finna send it over to Sony to try to make some money. Now you unclosed them. So other than make us feel good as gamers because he know how to talk like and think like gamers, Phil doesn't have no wins for real. Xbox One was a failure. Xbox One X, failure. Xbox Series S, failure. Xbox Series X, failure. No IPs, no games like this. Even this is strange even for me to say. They literally don't have any games. Like nothing. Like what what is it?
Starfield.
And they fumbled that. Halo, y'all fumbled that. Y'all gave y'all best game and let it be launched on the PlayStation. Deathloop went to PlayStation first. Got his kill over there.
Yeah, they did.
It's like, bro, and I know that's not Phil's fault. That's not your fault. But come on, bro. Sometimes you just fall into a category of just losing. And you I think even he just need an opportunity to just let it go and let somebody else go. He has too much at his disposal. There's too much there. Like D2K said it best. There is no reason for this. Not one under the sun for them to be losing this bad. With the amount of cachet they have, the amount of money they have, the name recognition that they have, there is no reason for them to be losing like this. So it tells me it's leadership. And that's the point. It goes to him. It's all happened under your watch, under your helm. Your hand is on the steering wheel. Microsoft is trusting you, and this is what you have produced with $3 trillion behind your back, with them just buying whatever you want, and you still losing. Give you the bad. Give you the power you want. Make a system that y'all should not have made. The Xbox One X should not have come out. Y'all swallowed it up with the Xbox Series S and X. Y'all should not have released the One X because it didn't even have time to breathe. And y'all came out, it's like Sega, but y'all got too much money to fail. So y'all can do it, even though you doing Sega moves, but you got Microsoft money. Because if this was Xbox on its own, no Microsoft, they would have folded a long time ago. Because they're able to stay afloat because they have Microsoft money to stay afloat. It's not because Xbox is doing great. So, in my opinion, he needs to go. And then hopefully, whoever is in the driver's seat next, whatever direction they're going, can salvage whatever this company is, or they just need to let Xbox go and just become Microsoft Gaming and just do whatever they gonna do. But Phil has screwed up a lot of stuff from just poor management. I don't see how you mess up what he has. Out of all three companies, Phil has the most to work with. He has the money. He has the power. He can squeeze anybody he wants to because it's Microsoft. And you have no games, no creativity, closing studios, buying studios, closing some of their studios. Like, bro, I don't see Sony mismanaging what Microsoft has, but what Xbox has. I don't see Nintendo having all that and mismanaging it like this. To me, it's leadership. It's him. He the problem. He has a long time. That's a decade of showing you are the problem. You are the weakest link. Huh?
Poop rolls downhill.
Yeah, it's him. It's him. It's Phil. And I like Phil. I like Phil. But it's him.
I see a future where Game Pass is a mobile thing, and I think Sarah was saying something about that, but I don't want to speak on that because I didn't watch it all the way. But I see a future where Xbox Game Pass is on mobile devices. Xbox is no longer a competitor with the major platforms, which I think they're still keeping around. But it's still a good service, and then, like everybody else has already said multiple times in the chat, K-Bum said it as well. It's the day and date that's killing you, and there's no other industry that you will find that puts their thing that's their brand new item or brand new IP or whatever out there for free Because you go to the movies, you got to go pay for the movies. Even after it comes out, you got to buy the movies, and then it'll come to Netflix or other streaming platforms. You got to get your money first. These games cost way too much money to be saying day one on Xbox or Game Pass. You got to get your money first, and I think that's the one thing. Well, that's one of the things that would have helped this. Two, you got to have the games in there that people want to play.
Right.
And I think that's another thing. That's why you can't get the user base. Nobody's trying to. I'm not signing up for that. Why? I'd rather go buy the game, like those third party games. I'd rather go buy the game somewhere else. I bought Hi-Fi Rush outside of Xbox Game Pass. I got it on Steam.
That's crazy. Now we gonna have to move on, but I want to read what D2K said. Cliffy B offered to come back to fix gears. Phil Spencer turned him down. Like I said, you can be a fan, man, and not have a vision. I think where Phil is missing that, Phil is trying to create all these avenues to make gamers happy, but the one place, and that's games. If Phil would just make games that people want to play, Game Pass and all this other stuff, there's no point in Game Pass if you don't have the games people want to play. And your portfolio, that's why you need third party, because there's not enough Xbox games that you want to play and continue to play. They need games. They need the 360 era. They need to figure out what was going on then, what was the vision then, and figure out how to get back to that mindset if they're going to stay in the console business. But I think it's time for Phil to go. I think he just does not. I ain't saying he's a bad guy. I think he's too much of a fan to be a killer against these individuals. You need people that's trying to kill folks and trying to think outside the box, which I think he does, and trying to think of what's the next big things, which I think he tried. I'm not going to knock him. He tried. But the first thing got to be the first thing. You got to have the IPs to make Game Pass work. You don't have them. And that's the one thing you have not done. So that's enough for me. Y'all ready to move on? I feel so. So
they not like us. They not like us.
Cheering back up in here, man. Dang, we feel low like we just had a home going or something, man. Like a funeral
it's
up in this
depressing, bro.
Yeah, it is. Depressing. It is. So now I wanted to give more time to this, and I mean it's just rumors. So, but as y'all know, Nintendo had their investors meeting this week where they revealed some things. I'm going to try to pull all that up. But in the sharing of information, they have begun the talks of the next thing, right? They have begun to speak on what's coming next from Nintendo. And so we're in that window, y'all. We are here. Look at them say, we are here. I'll take y'all to church for real. Look at your neighbor say, not much longer. Any day now. Y'all know that song? Any day now. K-Bone know what I'm talking about. Any day now. We are almost here. I don't know if y'all feel it. I feel it. I feel the tingling coming up my back. I feel the hair. We are in the window of change. Y'all hear me? I need some amens in the room. We are in that season of increase. We're in a season of transition. What was will not be. What's old has been, anyway, let me stop. And all things have been made new. Anyway, let me stop. I ain't going to take y'all to church on today. People, we are here. We on the cusp of the next thing, and I'm excited. What did y'all think about the news, man, that they finally did, Nintendo finally talked about their next thing? Go ahead.
Finally. We get some information from the big end themselves, and no more of these. They're letting us know, hey, it's coming, because I think you had to put the gamers' mind at ease. You got the level heads out there that's like, where y'all at though? So I think it was good that they spoke up. This information about the RAM and all the other stuff, did that come from them? I'm looking at an article, but I don't know if that was a rumor or was that a leak or
What's that?
who
What's that?
about the specs.
That's a room. That's a leak. We can talk about it. We might table. It's a lot. Yeah, that's more leak. We can talk about it, but I don't have much on that.
Okay, but yeah, I'm glad they spoke up, and I'm glad they kind of let us know. Hey, I don't know if it was IGN, but they said don't expect anything before April 2025, I believe, and I think that's fine. That's fair. I
they
think
said
that's fair.
don't expect any news.
Oh,
Between, well, how did they put that? They're going to make the reveal somewhere between now and March
Now,
2025.
okay.
So we're going to see it.
yeah,
We're
yeah.
going to
They
see it
said
before this year's out.
the
But we won't see it.
next thing you see won't be
Yeah.
the Switch 2.
Yeah.
They just said the next thing you see won't be the
Yeah, they
Switch
said
2.
that direct in June, you will not see the
Yes.
Switch in a direct
Correct.
in June. But other than that, at some point in this year, in this physical year and in this actual year, they're going to reveal the Switch 2. So I'm thinking most likely, it depends on when they're releasing it. If it actually comes this winter in the holiday season or March, if it's March, I'm believing we're going to see our first time seeing it's going to be September, October. If it's holiday, it's going to be after that June direct. Whatever, maybe July, August. We'll see it. If it's March of next year, it'll be September, October that we'll see them really roll it out. But I'm excited, man. So it's no longer theory. No, they have shed light that they do have a new system, and it is a Switch. They're switching from the current Switch, but it is in the family of the Switch. We don't know what it's going to be called. What y'all think it should be called? Let me hear in the comment section. Let me hear what y'all got to say. What should they call this thing? If it's a Switch.
I know what they shouldn't call it. I know what they shouldn't call it.
What's that?
You better not call it a Switch U. I'm gonna tap out. I'm good. I'm wait and see.
Okay, K-Bone, what you think they should call it?
Just call it Switch 2 and get over it. Just use numbers. Don't be like Xbox and give me all these different letters. And Nintendo wants to be the uniqueness that you are. Just call it Switch 2. This is like you said, it's not was that a revelation? No, not revelation. It's not it's evolving, right? It's not something that revolution. Not a revolution, right? This is just something it's evolving. It's a little bit different, but it's pretty much the same. So just give it a simple name. Give it a numeral, a 2, and just keep on going with your business. Which I don't think they have a system with a 2. I don't think. Yeah, every system they ever created is always a uniqueness on its own. I guess the 3DS had a 2, didn't it? No.
Well, they did the Wii
No, it's new.
U. It should have been the Wii 2. They did the Super NES from the NES. Then you had the N64, which I like that name. I like N64. GameCube. If the GameCube, I have a love and hate with the name the GameCube title. I don't think it's bad, but yeah, I remember going to pick it up and having my little handle. Anyway, and they went with the purple. The main color was the grape color. That wasn't cool. They should have made them all. Anyway, so and then I didn't like Wii. I didn't like the Wii name at all. And then so I didn't like the Wii U name. I thought that was just dumb as heck. DS was dope. Game Boy was dope. 3DS It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
It's fine.
Game Boy
Game Boy
Advance. It was Game Boy Advance. They never put a 2 or a 3. Sony is the only one, and I think that's what I gotta tip my head to Sony. So they don't even have to fight. What's the next one called? PlayStation 6? It ain't confusing. You get it. Oh, that's the PlayStation 2. That's the PlayStation 3. Oh, that's the PlayStation 4. That's the PlayStation 5. You ain't even confused. You know what you're getting. You're getting the new thing. It's the new PlayStation. Why? Because it's a new number to it. It's simple, but it works. So I got to give them that. Xbox, look, the Xbox 360, the Xbox One, the Xbox One X, the Xbox Series S and X. That's just confusion. Absolute. Okay, so we went from a 360 back to a 1, back to a 10, past the 1, to a series that's a S and a X. That's somebody. Sony got the right idea. Hey, it's the 2. It's the PlayStation 2. What's the next one? What you thinking? PlayStation 3. What we gonna call the next one? 4. like, that just makes so much sense. It was the Vita and the what was the Vita and the what was before the Vita?
PSP.
The PSP. That was the confused. What's the Vita anyway? So no, I think they should call it Switch 2.
Got a point.
Call it the Switch 2 and just leave it at that. Because it's clear, it makes sense. You know it's not the original Switch. Don't do a Switch 360. Don't do a Series X Switch. That's a Switch 2. You can follow Sony. Go ahead, Keith.
They gonna call it Switch It Up. Hey, can you pick up my Switch It Up? What?
These are the 2 names I'm cool with. A Switch 2, Switch Pro. I don't like Super Switch. I was going to say Super Switch, but yeah, one of them 2.
I don't like Switch. I don't like Switch Pro. It doesn't feel like it's an upgrade.
It to me it lets you know it's not the original. I'm not fond of it, but it's better than Switch. What is this? Switch Connect. Don't you do me like? Don't do me like that. Don't do no Switch Connect. I liked the NS, the NX. I love that name before it became the Switch. I liked the NX.
Yeah, it was pretty nice. Had a nice ring to it.
It does. It has a real good next. The NX next. The NX2 would be dope. The Nintendo NX2, the Nintendo NX, the Nintendo Next 2. Oh, but Switch is dope. Switch is cool. I like Switch. But yeah, just put a 2 on it. Yeah, you got to go with 2. If anything else other than Pro ain't working, it's not working. Or Switch Advance, that doesn't work.
Switch Advance.
I mean, you're right. That don't work.
Switch Gamer Pro, that don't work. I don't know. 2, it got to be 2, man. It got to be 2. Go ahead. My bad. I'm talking over y'all. Go ahead.
Oh, what we sitting
I'm
on
just
the
saying.
title?
Yeah.
No, we weren't saying nothing. We were just throwing out names too.
So they promised that it would be released. So here it is. Let me read this a little bit. Switch 2 will be revealed before April 2025, promises Nintendo. Nintendo predicts sales slump ahead of introducing the Switch successor, currently rumored for Q1 2025. This is The Verge. Nintendo has thrown Switch players a long-awaited bone alongside announcing its end of year financials report, confirming the console's successor will be unveiled before April 2025. Nintendo president, how you say that? Suntaro Furukawa, is that how you say that? Furukawa. Furukawa. Okay, said that. Yeah, OJ be saying it with so much emphasis when he said. I'd be like, boy, you gonna say every syllable in that name. Said that a next generation Nintendo Switch console will be announced within this physical year. giving the Japan gaming giant a deadline of March 31st, 2025 that aligns nicely with its current Q1 2025 rumored launch, which I believe probably is most likely is going to be follow the Switch and release in March. Regarding the Switch 2 console announcement, Furukawa said we will make an announcement about the Switch, about the successor to the Nintendo Switch within this financial year. It will have been over nine. This is how long Phil been failing. Over 9 years since we announced the existence of the Nintendo Switch back in March 2015. We will be holding a Nintendo Direct this June regarding the Nintendo Switch software lineup for the latter half of 2024, which brings us to Metroid Prime 4 is most definitely going to be announced, and it's going to be a cross-gen title. That's what I believe. I think that's what they're going to use to prop up the Switch, but I think that's stupid if they do that. Hopefully they don't. Don't do that, Nintendo. Give Metroid Prime 4... Yeah, give it to the new system. Don't launch it until you get the new system out. Unless it's going to be so much better looking that it doesn't matter. But please be aware that there will be no mention of the Nintendo Switch successor during that presentation. Now, you know they have lied before. Meanwhile, Nintendo forecasts singles and anticipates slowdown in Switch console sales, projecting to sell 13.5 million Switch consoles this year compared to the 15.7 million sold. Man, that's just reality. Is near saturation, folks. How many more Switches you think they're going to sell? It's 130 something out there. They need to be talking about it's not going to sell more. Y'all sound stupid. Stop trying to make that sound like that's bad. It's a part of reality. It's too many. It's enough of them out there anyway. So, go ahead. Who want to talk?
You said something, and I'm thinking, you said you don't want to see Metroid Prime 4 with the cross-gen. You want to see it go all the way with the Switch successor.
Yes.
I agree fully. But now I'm thinking, the times that Nintendo was the most successful is when they had a cross-gen game. Ironically, those games were Zelda. You got what was it? Twilight Princess going from the GameCube to the Wii. The Wii became at that time one of their most successful consoles. And then you got coming from the Wii U, the Breath of the Wild coming to the Switch, and the Switch is their most successful console. I actually wouldn't be mad if Metroid Prime 4 came out on the Switch and the successor.
No, my bad. No, I said I don't want them to release it on the Switch, current Switch, before the Switch 2 come out. If you're going to release it on both, let it be at the same time, because we put it out there, and unless it's so much better looking on the Switch 2 that it won't matter to those who bought it on the Switch. To me, like they did with Zelda, they could have released it on the Wii U, but they held it to be a launch title with the Switch alongside those who bought it on the Wii U. If they're going to do it, that's how they should do it. And you best have a Mario ready to go for that holiday season like you did. We need to see Metroid Prime 4 as the launch title like they did with Breath of the Wild, and we need to see that snippet of Mario like we did with Odyssey. That's going to be it. And give us Arms too, just for laughs. give us Arms too, but make it a wrestling game this time.
Go all the
way. Go all the way with it, because I liked Arms, but it would have been good as a wrestler. Take the ragdoll boxing gloves off and just make them wrestlers, and you got a good game right there. Good characters, good game. Yeah, man. As far as Nintendo, things are looking up. We in a good place. You know what? Sony has been quiet. Have y'all noticed that? Sony has been really, really quiet.
They're too busy putting games on PC.
Is that what it is? K-Bone, what's going on? What's going on with Sony, K-Bone?
He said his phone died. Is he not back?
His phone died. Okay. He muted, I see. But yeah, man. Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'm back. No, what I was saying was, what we should have it on the topic. We have to get it on next time. Is what happened to Sony this past week with Hell Divers, because
Oh
that was
yeah.
that wasn't quiet. But
Go ahead. We done with Nintendo. Go ahead, bring
no,
it
no,
up.
no, no. This it has to be its own topic. I'm not
Okay,
gonna
okay, okay.
shortchange this because because I need to lay into Sony on this. So we'll save that. But the reason why Sony is quiet is because they don't have to produce their exclusive games. They have their third party partners putting out exclusive games on their systems that are generating all the hype for them. You have the Rise of Ronin, you have Stellar Blade, you have Helldivers, you have Final Fantasy. None of those are first party Sony games, but they're all exclusive to the Sony console. And that's doing enough for them in this first 4 months, 5 months of the year that no one's really complaining that much about Sony first parties because they're still exclusives on the PlayStation console that you can play that are good games. They're not the greatest or the best, but they're still good games. So yeah, they don't gotta make much noise because they still got games, which is sad because Xbox, with all their purchasing, still doesn't.
Right.
Okay. I got you. I hit it for you. Trying to see
Hey, you don't.
how many. Go ahead, Key. I'm trying to see how many
No, I'm gonna say
arms. So
you don't started something in the comment section. You don't got this girl on arms too. Now
I
she over
wa-
there getting excited.
like I said, arms. I'm trying to see how much they sold. I can't. Yeah, there it is. So arms sold right under, like literally 280,000. Well, 280,000 units short of 3 million units on the Switch. So I think they did enough to be owed a sequel, but make it wrestling. And like she said, give each character their own special. uh Arms could be a dope Killer Instinct type of game.
They do got good character models.
Yeah, they got dope character models. Yeah, they need that's going a different direction. Take the
Hold
rag
on, Keith.
doll.
What you trying to say, Keith?
I caught
Can we get
that.
our Stella? Can
I
we get our
caught
Stella
that.
Blade moment? Can we get it? No, it's that.
you got to dig into what Keith said. You got to read between the lines when Keith talk.
Yeah, yeah, I like Arms for like the graphics in Arms wasn't bad, man.
Nah,
If I just be honest, they had some nice visuals. They did. I know you talking about the
Nigga Keith in the
African.
background.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Something else, boy.
It had good visuals, man. I mean,
What was that?
Arms
character
has
name?
potential. They have it's a IP that's right under where it needs to be. If it was too, what's the word?
Twin Tail. That's her name. Twin Tail.
Bare boned. It was too bare boned. It didn't have enough meat on the bone. If they put a little bit
Keith
more
said that
depth,
red bone had pretty
yeah.
meat. Okay,
Hey, come
I know
on.
it. I know it. I
I'm
know.
done.
I don't
I'm
even see
done.
that.
I'm
I don't
done.
even think they had that character
I see
here.
myself out.
No,
Yeah,
that was right though. It's just there wasn't enough depth in the
yeah,
game.
that's the
Like
word.
when I played,
Thank you, Keith. Death.
yeah.
That's what I was trying to say. Go ahead. You right.
No, I think if they were to rework it, I would hate for them to just all out just get rid of it. And like you showed, it made money. You know, well, it sold, but I would hate for them to just all out get rid of it. I think this is something that they can nurture. Microsoft, nurture, look it up. They can nurture this game and really make it into something great because they got great characters. I think it's quirky enough. I think kids will love it. Like that girl with the Mechanica girl or whatever. Like I think they got some good. Well, could have some good. I just don't like that gameplay loop. I don't like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. Like the game has something that's worth exploring again. Like I said, it was just not enough depth, not enough meat on the bone. And it can even stay in the boxing arena, just add a little bit more. It was basically Wii boxing with better character models.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe they need to take the waggle out and really flesh out it as a boxing game. Give it that punch out touch. Take the waggle long arms out and actually just make it a boxing game. I think that our wrestling, like I said, or leave it the same, but just add some depth to it. It's not a bad. It's not a bad game. It just wasn't enough there to keep you. My daughters liked it though. But anyway, what other games do we want to see that was introduced for the first on the Switch that we want to see continue? Take-Two? Want to see that continue?
Take-Two?
I think it's called Take-Two or whatever that game was where you had to do all the poses and different things with the HD Rumble. What was that game called? Yeah, I think it was Take-Two, wasn't it? Or Two Take or something like that.
Or was it 1-2 Switch?
1-2 Switch. There it is. My bad.
Yeah.
Just let me slap myself.
Slap yourself!
You need to Take-Two. Yeah, 1-2 Switch. Do they need to bring 1-2 Switch back? Actually, I played a little bit of 1-2 Switch. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Why not?
Why not? Okay. What about Wii Sports?
Did it sell?
Or Switch Sports? Switch Sports.
I don't see why those games wouldn't hurt to just continue on. I mean, just have them.
Yeah, they can bring back Switch Sports. They need to go back to the Wii name. I like Wii Sports. You don't have to change it to Switch Sports. Keep it It's Wii Sports. That's what we're going to call it. Just bring it back. Wii Sports part for the Switch. So anyway, okay, real quick and then we get out of here. When do they need to bring Mario Kart and Smash? What year should that how far out from launch should those titles show up?
I wouldn't be mad if Mario Kart was a launch title.
Oh, you serious? If that's a launch title, that's gonna be. If that's a launch, woo! Wait, no, Keith, because you know we only get.
You didn't have a Mario Kart for Switch. You didn't have a Mario Kart for the Switch
At all.
It skipped the Switch. The Switch. You had it for the Wii U.
I like Nintendo.
There was no Mario
Sports.
Kart for the Switch.
I like Nintendo Sports, Nia. No, I'm saying, because we only get one kart a generation. So
and you never had one for the Switch.
We
so you
didn't.
do for one.
We are, but that man, you know how crazy it would be.
It should.
If Mario Kart launched day and day.
The
with
reason
the Switch
they gave you that map pack is because they're working on Mario Kart.
I know they working on it. You missing what I'm saying?
I am saying
how bananas it would be if they had Mario Kart for sale at the launch of the Switch 2. Bro, that's surefire success. That is.
Yeah.
I don't. That would be amazing if they did that. I don't see them doing it, but they should. That'd be more successful than Odyssey. That'd be better than a 3D Mario at launch.
Yep.
Smash Bros can come the following year.
3 years later.
Yeah, I don't know. Smash Bros don't have to come early. I think they need to.
You want to skip Smash Bros altogether?
I have bought Smash Bros every generation but one. Nope. No. I take that back. I bought it every time it came out. And I play it for maybe a month or two. I'm into it. Then I don't know what it is. I think they need a new protagonist at the end or a new boss, villain to fight. I think it needs a real for real villain. They need to create a character to be a villain for the game. They need a what's his name, Hayachi or an Akuma or M. Bison or something like that. They need either take one of their characters and make him a villain at the end, a main villain. They don't have that. They have that hand that comes down and you fight. That doesn't do it for me. You need some villains. You need some boss villain characters in the game that you can't play, that you got to fight at some point. Like the early Street Fighters with Sagat and Borog and Vega. You couldn't play them, but you can. They was bosses before you got to M. Bison. They need something like that. They need to. I think Smash Brothers need some freshness. Yeah, it needs some freshness for me. But what did he say? Bring what did I say? What she say? Subspace Emissary back. Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
Subspace Emissary. What was that?
Okay.
Okay.
When you think about it, Smash Brothers it could be a really fun Metroidvania style game. They'll never do that because they never want to cut into that Metroid 2D games, but I would love to play with like Sonic and like hear me out. Sonic and Smash Brothers, he feels completely different than anything you played in a Sega game. I love to run through the subspace again with Sonic. It's low key, man. It's nice. It's nice. It feels good. His traction, all of it, it works.
They need to give Sonic and Mega Man to Nintendo, because that's the best Mega Man ever felt to me, ever.
Really?
Oh, Mega Man felt good in Smash. He looked good in Smash.
Yeah, he did.
That model design, how they caught every aspect of the character of Mega Man. Like it. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's different than what he was in the actual Mega Man games, but he looked amazing. They caught it like for real. They understood. What's his name that make Smash? What's that dude's name? And I think Capcom have their hand in Smash. Or is it Sakura, yeah. Or is it Namco that helps with Smash?
It's Namco.
Okay. So didn't that one time Capcom helped with Smash? Oh, Capcom helped with Zelda Wind Waker HD. Capcom helped with that game. Let me see. I actually like how right there you go. That was another thing. And I wanted to get Ken, but I just got burnt out on it, man. It's the controls for me. It's Smash just controls so funky and weird. It's just hard for me to really. I'm used to Hadouken and sci-fi flip. Them type of controls and Tekken controls that hold up and jump. I don't know. My brain just wired different for fighting games. Sometimes it's just hard for me to get into Smash. But go ahead. Yeah. So. Yeah, man, it's good. We would have talked about the specs. They talking about 12 gigabytes of RAM. They talking about the dock has got a coolant system on it, and the power they are scaling it at handheld being right at PlayStation 4, and docked being PlayStation 4 Pro, Xbox Series X level of power, or maybe even a little higher than that. So there's a lot out there. That's rumor. So we had time to go into the rumors because we talk so much about Phil and Xbox. But yeah, we're in that place now, y'all. We there. Where we wanted to be. We've been waiting for this for a long. My Switch got gray hairs. That's how long we've been waiting.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
My Switch got gray hairs. I got to go up there and remind it to go to sleep. Everything. Did you eat tonight? Everything all right?
Make your pills.
Switch up there. Switch on. Switch like. So, it feels good to finally have Some newness about to come. This Switch is on its final legs, man. Any other thing before we get out of here?
Nah,
We gave
man.
y'all 2 hours
just
and 4
go
minutes,
play.
man.
Just go play. They Not Like Us, man, and have a good time. Go to the gym. They Not Like Us. Put it on repeat. I'm playing.
Oh man, Keith ain't letting
You can
that
listen
go.
You can listen to Family Matters too, but They Not Like Us is a different beast.
You ain't never lied. K-Bomb, anything you got to add that's not like us?
Nah. I'm happy I made it through today. Like I said, I'm slowly feeling better. So happy I was able to make it through without coughing on the whole mic. So it was good, man. I don't got too much to add to the conversation. I think we did our due diligence today. It was good. Seeing those in the comment section. And enjoyed the feedback and everything you guys did. I know Alice D rubbed leveled the wrong way, but we didn't have enough LeBron hate in this chat today, so it's all good.
Hey,
But no,
there you go. Keep on playing it. They not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
Hey, you gotta address Nia with her comment, man. I want to hear what you're gonna say.
Okay, let me see. Where she at? This boy level can't play nothing but muscle memory game. We gonna have to invite you on live so we can talk about this. Muscle memory? No, Smash is just different to me, man. I gotta get used to it. This ain't the real beat because they don't sound nothing like the actual beat. But anyway, that boy killed that, man. That boy killed that. That's real talk. Mustard on the beat. But anyway, welcome to the show. Thank y'all for tuning in. Alice Dean, I'm sorry that Drake took that L. I'm sorry. But this gonna be a bop for the whole summer. And like Joe Budden said, wait till HBCUs get back up. It's gonna be a problem. But I'm gonna let y'all sign out, starting with my boy, Mr. Norris. Keith, go ahead, bro. Sign out.
Yes, sir. Great topics, man. I hope things turn around for Microsoft, but at least the people that's involved, that's not making the decisions for their own lives. But like I said, I hope things turn around. Great show. I appreciate everybody in the comment section, everybody that was watching, that was rocking with us. It is 10:30 on as Nia would say, on a school night. So I do appreciate y'all still rocking with us tonight. And man, I can't wait to see what's happening next week. Gonna get in some games. Hopefully nobody respond no more. Let it rest. Drake, it's over. No more response. We good. We good right here. We don't need no more.
They like that.
No more.
All right, Mr. K-Bomb, come on through, bro.
no problem. I pretty much already gave my closing statement a little bit earlier, but appreciate the good wells. Thank you, Nia. I appreciate that. Gonna get up here and take some more medicine. Enjoy the topics. Did not enjoy talking bad about Phil, but the truth is the truth.
He's
no matter
like
how
us.
hard
He
and
not
how
like
bad
us.
it sounds,
He not like
the truth
us.
is still the truth.
He not like us. Phil is not like us. He gotta go. He took Xbox down for show. He don't know where to go. So he gotta go. Anyway, let me stop. So thank y'all for tuning in on tonight, man. We had a good time. Phil, you make it easy to dump on you, bro. I'm sorry. I like you as a person. I think you're a cool guy. But you're not like us. So you gotta go. So thank y'all for tuning in. Shouts out to everyone that jumped in the comment section, starting with our very own D2K, Nia, Chariot Man Gaming, Island Steve, don't do that no more, Island Steve. Don't come in with the nonsense. Kendrick did not beat Drake. Are you kidding yourself, my friend? He says, I'm not from Canada. I am from South Bend, Indiana, home of Notre Dame. Well, you need to realize that your boy lost. Anyway, this was the show. We're about to get out of here. Thank y'all for tuning in. They're not like us. They're not like us. See y'all next week. Same time, same place. Same time, same place. Hold up, bro. I'm